I've been teaching musical theater forever, but oddly enough, I don't come from a musical theater background. I come from an acting background. I'm going to be really dealing with your acting issues and your interpreting issues and all of that. You've chosen a really difficult business where people are going to be rejecting you a lot, and it's up to you to stay buoyant. It's up to you to find value in your art. And a lot of musical theater performers don't really see themselves as artists. You know, you're in the trained horse sort of mentality. How high do you want me to jump? How many spins do you want me to do? How loud do you want that note? And you need to start thinking of yourself as artists so that you're working through your art. With every audition, you can have a win, whether you get the part or not. A lot of young people, the first thing they worry about is, what am I wearing? How does she walk? You know, those are surface things. I want you to start asking the big questions. What type of soul does this person have that they would be able to speak these words? And then what would it take for me to be able to say those words in an honest way?
But no weakness will stop a hero's fight. And that's why I love the movies.
Because what I'm getting from you is, like, every time you say that's why I love the movies, you're apologizing. Instead of underlining that, instead of making that the argument. Do you see what I'm saying? And then the answer should always be like, I still don't get it. Okay, let me give you another example. So you're building on a list, you want to build on top of each other. We'll have to try this again, and for you to start trying to build this conversation.
But his wise cracks that a hero makes, and that's why I love the movies. Clark Kent.
Good. That's why I love the movies. Top it with Clark Kent.
Okay.
It's another example. Here's another example. You need to bring more energy. That's why list songs are really hard.
We came to honor me.
I'm telling you, you've got to sing bad.
Okay.
You've got to let yourself be more interested in what you're doing and getting your point across, and trust that your voice will rise to that. When you try to sing perfectly, you're squashing things, especially for musical theater. This is not opera. I think opera's probably a little different, right? Yeah, and if you're an opera singer, you love opera, do you do that? Great, do it there.
Yep.
Do not do it here. Be bad and imperfect and make mistakes. And that is going to release your true voice. And what I'm interested in is making sure that you stay interested all the time. That you are constantly challenging yourself, that you are learning about yourself, that you are learning about this music. You need to find somebody that has a problem with what you're saying. Somebody that's going to create a conflict for you, right? So that you are fighting for something or working through something. You are constantly negotiating in your life. Because ultimately it's about what you're doing, not what you're feeling. Will this be a completely different song if you sing it to your mother? Or your current boyfriend? Or your kid? So depending on who you talk to, it's going to be a completely different song, because we're not going to, we may tell our parents and our best friends the same thing, but we don't hit the same notes with them, right? The lyric, which is really your key into everything in terms of interpreting stuff. You know, a lot of you are singers, right? So the first thing you go to is the music, and what does it sound like, and what's the tone, and all of that. But what we really want is to focus on the lyric, because the lyric is going to give you your point of view. And your point of view is what it's all about. Charlie, what's the problem in his life? What's the problem in this song?
They're inviting him out for this dance for, like, you know, one last big dance to the game. He's like, okay,
but what's the problem in, now you're taking me through the plot. You're taking me through the plot of the show. I'm interested in this moment. And that's what we often do. What's the song about? And we start taking me through the entire plot of the show instead of this moment.
There's a life that I am meant to live. A life like nothing I have known.
It was almost like I was hearing her thoughts. You know, she was up here and she was having epiphanies and she was thinking. But what sort of happened was that you lost this connection with your audience. What is this relationship about? It almost felt like you were acting in a vacuum. Do you know what I'm saying? Which makes it so much harder. You have this connection, you have this energy going back and forth, you want to use it. And now, so now there's no need to be up in the stratosphere. you can be with them. You have to earn that volume. You have to earn your dynamic. You have to earn those big smiles. You have to earn jazz hands. And that's what will keep it interesting, because you can constantly renegotiate your relationships throughout your entire life. This song is going to be completely different in 3 years for you if you work this way. That's how you stay buoyant. That's how you stay interested. And you've all been gotten tired of stuff in your book, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some of you will bring something that you've been tired from in your book. And we can look at it from where you are now and create the right relationship that's going to re-energize it. Okay? So I threw a lot at you. What are you thinking? What's landing, what's not?